I'm going to censor myself. I'm just going to use the code word glass. That's a good code word. I'm not going to say the other stuff. It's up to you to research. Glass, and I'm just going to say the stuff for, well, something to relate to the location. So that's 51/S4 level 4-2. It is known as Alice's floor in popular language. It does use quantum technology, and it does use remote view. And I have the document from 1983 by the U.S. Army and also a CIA document regarding the gateway process. And it's related to 17. When I say 17, I'm referring to the letter. Also related to Trump and President Trump. And it is also related to the events of what happened in the world with COVID in 2020, and of course previously to that. And it's also related to the events of since the biblical texts times, since the creation and what happened in the Garden of Eden, and all the way of history, all the history since that, also related to Jesus. And I have the designs. I have some pictures and images, which was also left for the public. And we also have 3 awesome things. One of them is President Trump, actually say Trump in plural, central casting, different times in the press, in the public eye, on TV and in the news, when he was looking at the glass. That's very important. And also 2 very important things, which was, again, public disclosure. It's for the public view. There's no secret. One was the publication number 9 of 17. When I say 17, I'm referring to the letter. This one was from year 2017. Imagine, publication number 9. And there's a total of over 3,000, which they've not published nothing. They haven't published for like a number of years now, obviously, because the plan has been fulfilled. But publication 9 from 2017 discloses the glass, and with some really good information regarding the Democrats and everything else. And then publication number 3585, so that's 3,585 of 17, from November 2019, also publishes the glass, and going forward, and signed by 17 with the letter. And of course, there's a bunch of videos as well, and images and pictures. Again, repeat myself. Now I understand. I didn't understand before, but now I understand why at the different meetings and public meetings where President Trump is surrounded by thousands of people. So there's no secret. Trump is looking or staring at glasses. Awesome stuff. And he even tells us, central casting, he even tells us the whole message. So everything is in plain sight. Nothing is hidden. Now, of course, not to forget regarding the relationship of Nikola Tesla with John Trump, Trump's uncle, Mr. John Trump, very intelligent. And of course, Nikola Tesla with his documents regarding free energy, the fake anti-gravity, which is just electromagnetic levitation because gravity does not exist, and also invisibility and time travel. A time travel machine exists. It's nothing, no secret. It has been shown to us hundreds of times in the media and by 17. And I'm just gonna have to say this as well. Don't forget that John Trump, Trump's uncle, was a MIT professor, contemporary of Nikola Tesla. And I have to disclose what happened in 1985 when John Trump died, and Donald Trump, President Trump, was using names like John Miller and John Barron. And let's not forget the third and least known, which is actually now very known, and I'm so sad with myself that I actually knew about this information back in 2011 when Steins Gate, the anime, came out, and I knew that was important, but I didn't have the way to do the connection, because in 2011 I didn't even know about Trump, about John Titor. And for those of you who understand when I'm saying John Titor and Steins Gate, then it's mind-blowing and mind-blasting. And the stuff that was written in the forums in the years 2000 and 2001 by John Titor, very important in 2000 and 2001 regarding the future, and how now President Trump has been disclosing this since the 1980s, and of course in 2016 as well, and now recently with Iran and the nuclear weapons and everything else, and regarding with no, it's just amazing. And the other stuff I wanted to mention is regarding the glass itself and the relationship with Alice in Wonderland and the White Rabbit. And of course, the movie is Back to the Future, which I now understand, just like Steins Gate, the anime. I now understand Back to the Future, especially Back to the Future Part 2, where there's some really amazing information regarding the convergent timeline paradox and the convergent timelines, disclosed with pure awesomeness and graphic and detailed illustration as well. Also the electric fields and the Stargate, which are also very important in the relationship with the glass and the experiments underground and in the tunnels and in the military bases, and also to do with Alice in Wonderland, which is not just something bad. It can be used for bad or for good. Actually, the good guys and the bad guys, they have this, both of them. And this is, of course, linked to the past and what we call the biblical texts, and also the apocrypha. And I can speak more about this in the future, but I have to be really careful how and that's why I'm using words like, I'm sorry, that's why I'm using a way of censoring myself with saying 17 and saying glass, because no, those are, I guess, they're words which are allowed. And what else is to say regarding the fact that I also understand now the lightnings that were that actually the news is speaking about this, and in 2014 and 2016 there's actually even news still public today with what happened at the Trump Towers with the lightnings, and there's no secret about that. And regarding the time travel, because I still see that there's people believing that time travel is just a fantasy. Well, think again, and that's what I thought as well. And now that I understand what happened in the 20th century and even before that, time travel is just like the ancient giant trees, and just like the flat earth, and just like the dome, everything is and the glass, and of course the Vatican linked to this as well, and everything else. And now that I have the most important thing besides the appearance of Trump central casting looking at the glass, it's also these two statements which were public by 17, statement number 9 and statement number 3585, which are clearly disclosing this in public and with no secrets whatsoever. And I'm really grateful that, of course, and this is not something that, I mean, it's in the public domain, and we just have to search for it. You have to use your willpower and stop being lazy, like I did, because I was lazy. And then I look at myself in the mirror and say, stop being lazy. And of course, it took me a lot of time to get to this information, like years of my life. But yeah, it's just stop being lazy and gather the information which is public and free, and then you open your eyes. This, and of course with the other information that takes a lot of your lifetime, and that's the reason why the big majority of people don't want to do this, because it takes lots of time and people get depressed. So see you in the next video. Glass, I'm not sure I'm going to speak about glass again, because I want to speak about so many things, but if this video gets lots of likes, I'll come back to glass again and speak more about that.